Hi, it's James here from Horses Ratings, and this is the selections for the 3rd of January. Look, apologies for getting this out late today. I was just got very busy yesterday evening, so didn't get a chance to do that, and I've had to kind of go back and again just wait on to see if some of the cards are going to be called off or not. There's obviously a lot of snow and frost around, so just obviously to run through today's selections, and I'll just cover a couple of other races as well, actually over at Fairyhouse. But I've only got two selections today. The first one is Plumpton in the 225, and the selection is Benevolent Dictator for Gary Moore. Um, Look, I think the Sussex National race. It's obviously it's their kind of flagship event of the season. It's a smallish field this year, um, and there are a couple of horses in here who've got some fairly decent form with the likes of Special Acceptance on its last win last time out. Definitely Dakar is an interesting one for Charlie Mann with Harry Bannister on board. He's only had the one run, which was second at Cheltenham in December, so only a few weeks ago. So that horse could definitely have something to say, but it's a big jump up in terms of the weight that the horse is carrying. It's carrying 161, and on that day it was only carrying 142. So I know that's all relevant, but that's a lot of extra weight for the horse to carry just generally anyway. Um, Look, I've gone with Benevolent Dictator because the horses look very good on his last two starts. Gary Moore, local track, Josh Moore on board. They like to win these races. Now, the one thing I will say, the horse has gone up £11 in the ratings for that win, but it did do it quite comfortably. And I think the improvement from 2 miles forward, just to 3 miles 1.5 last time out, the extra 3 furlongs, I don't see that being a problem. So win and place stakes, only a small bet, so do like a half point win and place on that. And I think Benevolent Dictator can run a big race. I wouldn't discount actually Gary Moore's other runner in here with Niall Houlihan on board. Um, has got strong. Chacon Blanc has got quite strong form across various categories, so sort of going these types of races, course and distance. So Chacon Blanc has been there and done it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chacon Blanc runs a big race today as well. But it's a very competitive race, and I've just gone with Benevolent Dictator based on the improvement for the steps up in trip on its last two runs. And I think it would have quite a decent chance today. Um, my next selection is over at Southwell, and it's the 210. Look, I'm not a big fan of Luke Morris. I think quite a few of my members know this as well. I just, for the amount of rides he has, his strike rate is really poor. But he does actually come in sometimes, and um, he does have these little streaks of wins. He's on Vape today. Now Vape actually comes out very strong on the ratings. It won really cozily last time out and has been in some decent form. It's gone second, third, and first on its last three runs. And that win last time out was at Southwell. It's only gone £2 for that win. David Probert was riding that day. Luke Morris is on board today. Luke Morris has ridden a couple of winners, I think, for Carol, the trainer, in the last few days. So there's a lot to like about Vape. The one thing I will say is Jordan Stall won. So I'd want Morris to not go down the stand rail. I would want him to come down the middle. Obviously, I've mentioned this in my preview on New Year's Day around one of the selections. And then obviously, if you stay down the stand side rail, it can be quite deep there with Southwell. So you'd want Morris to come across into the middle of the track. Spring Romance is the likely danger, and also Samovar. But Vape could just be a horse who's finding a little bit of form at the moment with its runs in the last, obviously the last kind of 2 months where the runs are counting at Southwell and also Wolverhampton prior to that as well. So hopefully Vape can get the job done today. So they're my two selections today. What I will do moving forward, look, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like buttons because that helps with the YouTube algorithms. One thing I will say as well is that I will post a P&L in the comments box below. So I do record them every day anyway because they're there for the website. as well. So I've got to track all of that information, and everything that I say is always P&L'd to Betfair starting prices. So there's no ambiguity to that at all. So and I've been doing that for several years now, and the ratings actually work on that basis as well. So, and it's actually very important because things like value bets that the ratings generate are actually based on profit. So to Betfair SP. So it's hugely important that the data is accurate. And for the purposes of the profit and loss, that will be posted in the comments box below. Just a couple of other races to mention then over at Fairyhouse. We have two really good mares races. There's the 110, which is a hurdle race for mares. There's some really good horses in here with the likes of Hookup, who looked very impressive last time out. Dalvino, who's looked quite impressive in the bumper, and her hurdle race last time out, which does have some fairly decent form to it, but that's in the context of bumpers. Now, some of those horses could progress to become, very, very good over hurdles. A couple of the bumpers have not. Some of the horses have come out and not done that great since. Some of them have performed okay and been beaten by better horses. So the collateral form is okay, and it could actually get a lot better as the season progresses. Queensbrook is the horse, obviously, that has the class edge, I guess, because of the fact that she's been running in graded races, albeit probably looking a bit flat on its last two runs in particular, and probably a bit disappointing. So probably does need to improve a little bit. There would be question, and Queensbrook is the one horse that probably will handle the ground the best. Likewise, Dalvino and also Razzle Dazzle Love also. Hookup you can't discount because just purely because of the fact that Willie Mullins in the form, and it did look very good last time, but it is a step up in class for Hookup. The one that I probably do like, actually, I haven't had a bet in this race, but if I was to have a play just purely on prices against some of the others, it would be Royal Kahala. Was beaten by Dalvino previously, but there wasn't much in that. And I think, to be fair to Royal Kahala, I think it actually looked very, very good on its last two runs as well. So just on the prices versus Dalvino and Hookup, I think Royal Kahala, you could actually get away with winning the place on the two places because you're getting even money on the exchanges for the place bet. The other race, obviously, is the graded race. Now, I know on the podcast I did say Salsaretta. I was also interested in Ellie Mack, just because I think Ellie Mack's got some very, very consistent form. Salsaretta's carrying a penalty, so I was going to kind of go quite strong on Salsaretta today, but just the fact that she's carrying a penalty and she's coming off a fall last time out, albeit it was a soft fall at the very first fence last time out. I would be slightly not against Salsaretta, but that just tempered my enthusiasm a little bit with regards to having a bet on it today because of the £8 penalty. Now, just reading between the lines and what Willie Mullins has said, Cabaret Queen he thinks is suited more by the conditions, and I think that's because she's not carrying the penalty. But Salsaretta will love the ground and the trip, so there wouldn't be any issues there for her. So I'm just going to leave that race alone because Salsaretta at the moment for me is a bit too short in the betting, but she may well hack up. I think Cabaret Queen is the one that's slightly overpriced in that race, and it's actually, to be fair, it's a very, very good mares race because Augusta Gold, very consistent, is no mug, been off the track for ages. Ellie Mack, surprised. I know she's a big price, but she is a consistent runner. Shattered Love's not running, neither is Miss Panickety, and then Moy Henner as well has got some really decent form if you go back far enough, but a lot of that form has not been that great in the last kind of few runs at least anyway. So that should be a very interesting race to run, and that's just my thoughts on that. So they're the selections for today. Obviously only two selections today, so good luck. Yes, just a quick thing before I go. We had a nice win yesterday with Metier and a nice place with Cross Park. So I don't think there was any kind of profit made yesterday. I think kind of broke even-ish. But the ratings yesterday were very, very good. We have 12 top-rated winners yesterday, including one Betty Zane over at Cope, which was priced up at 27 starting price. So the ratings were pretty solid yesterday, and they're very profitable to follow. But look, that's it for today. Good luck with your selections as always, and catch you guys later this evening. I will be doing it this evening for tomorrow morning. So